Hello everyone, it's Mr. Kissinger. This is 5th grade math module 4, topic B, review day 2. We're going to be doing some word problems today using the same strategies that we learned in topic B, review day 1. So if we look at number 5 here, it says a 16-pound bag of sugar is being split among 7 neighbors. How many pounds of sugar will each neighbor receive? So we need to figure out first what's being divided. That's what it asks us here in this letter A. So we have 16, let's look at our numbers here. We have a 16-pound bag of sugar, and we have 7 neighbors. So it's either going to be the 16-pound bag of sugar is being split up or divided, or the 7 neighbors are being split up or divided. And since we're not dividing the neighbors into groups or anything like that, it looks like the bag of sugar is the thing that's being split or being divided among or between the 7 neighbors. So the bag of sugar, 16-pound bag of sugar. And then we have, in letter B, it says how many times is it being divided? So among how many people is it being divided? Between 7 neighbors. So it's being divided 7 times. So another way to look at it is we could say that each neighbor is going to get 16/7 of that bag of sugar. So let's make that into a number that's a little bit easier to understand. 16, if we had a bag of sugar and said, hey, can you scoop me out 16/7 of that bag of sugar? It'd be kind of hard, even if I had a measuring cup, to figure out exactly how much each person is going to get, or even to kind of estimate how much 16/7 looks like. So let's turn that into a mixed number. And the way we'll do that is just like we did last time with some long division. I'm going to put 16 here inside, 16 divided by 7. 7 will go into 16 twice. 2 times 7 will be 14. We're going to have 2 left over, so we'll have 2 and 2/7. So each neighbor is going to get 2 2/7 pounds of sugar. And then the question is, where on the number line is 2 2/7 going to fall? So I'm going to look at, here's 2, and here's 3. I know 2 2/7 is going to fall between 2 and 3 because it's 2 and plus a fraction that is less than 1. Again, that numerator is smaller than the denominator, so I know that is not an improper fraction. That fraction will be less than 1. And the question is it going to be between 2 and 2 and 2 1/4, 2 and 1/4 and 2 and 1/2, 2 and 1/2 and 2 and 3/4, or 2 and 3/4 and 3. And if we broke that into sevenths, well, 2/7, let's see, is that greater or less than 1/4? 2/7, and I have 1/4. Well, 1/4 could also be 2/8. So 1/4, that equals 2/8. And what's bigger, 2/7 or 2/8, which is the greater fraction? Well, we know 7ths are larger than 8ths, so 2/7 would be greater than 2/8. So it's going to be greater than 2 and 1/4. I also know that 2/7 is not quite 1/2. 2 is less than 1/2 of 7. So it's going to fall somewhere right in here between 2 and 1/4 and 2 and 1/2. Now I'm going to label this right here. I'll make a little arrow because I don't have a whole lot of room. This is going to be 2 2/7. All right, so we know about how much each neighbor is going to get now, in between 2 1/4 and 2.5 pounds. Look at number 6 here. It says a cake with 48 servings is being served at a birthday party. If 26 people attend, how many servings of cake will each person get to eat? So what's being divided? We have a cake with 48 servings, and we have 26 people. Well, the cake is being divided between the people, right? Like each person is going to get part of that cake. So 48 servings is being divided. And how many times is it being divided? Well, it'll be divided by 26. So we're going to have 48 26. So that's going to be a little bit more challenging of a division problem here. So we have 48 divided by 26. 26 times 1 is 26. 26 times 2 would be 52. Well, that would be too big. It can't go into 48 2 times. So we know it's just going to go in once. We have to subtract 26. And we're going to end up with 2, 2. So we have 22, 26. 1 and 22, 26. And if I look at that number, 1 and 22, 26 servings, I noticed that 22 is pretty close to 26. We almost could fit 26 into 48 2 times because it would be 52. So it's going to be pretty close to 2. It's not going to be more than 2, but it'll be pretty close. 13/26, again, because we have an even denominator, we can look and we can see 13/26 would be 1/2. So 1 and 1/2 would be 13/26. 22/26 is more than that. So it's going to be pretty close to 2. It's going to be up here between 1.5 and 2, but closer to 2. We'll put that right on our number line. 1 and 22/26. Now, some of you might have seen, hey, I can simplify that 1 and 22/26, and I can make it 11/13. And that's fine too. And 11 is really close to 13, so we would still get the same. We could still use the same reasoning. And the way you would get that, way you would simplify that is you would divide 22 by 2, and you would divide 26 by 2. 22 divided by 2 is 11. 26 divided by 2 is 13. If you do not divide the numerator and the denominator both, you can simplify your fraction. As long as you divide them both by the same number, if they're both divisible by the same number, then that fraction can be simplified. We'll do 1 or 2 more here. Let's see what we have time for. So number 7 says a grocery store receives a shipment of 200 bottles of water. Their shelves will hold a maximum of 12 bottles. How many shelves will be needed for the water bottles? So what is being divided? We have 200 bottles of water, and each shelf will hold 12 bottles. So the 200 bottles of water are being divided, and we're dividing by 12. All right, bottles here. We really should have a label on that. 200 bottles divided by 12. And we're going to have 200 twelfths. This time we're not going to end up with we really shouldn't end up with a fraction as our answer, because that's how many shelves. But I guess we could get into fractions of a shelf, because we could have like a half a shelf. So we'll figure out where that will go on a number line. And if we do 200 divided by 12, 12 goes into 20 once. It's going to leave us with 8 left over. And then when we bring down our 0, we have 80. Well, 12 will go into 80. Let me think. 12 times 4 is 48. 12 times 5 is 60. 12 times 6 would be 72. 12 times 7 would be 84. Oh, that's too much. So 12 times 6 would be 72. Running out of room a little bit here, but we have 8 left over. We're going to end up with 8 twelfths. And I know some of you are probably saying in your head, 8 twelfths, maybe that really should be 2/3, because we could divide both of them by 4. But we'll leave it 8 twelfths. So we have 16 and 8 twelfths of a shelf. And we need to find where that goes in the number line. Well, it's going to be more than 16, and it's going to be less than 17. Question is it greater than or less than 6.5? Well, I know that 6 twelfths is 1/2, and 8 twelfths is more than 6 twelfths, so it's going to be more than 16 and 1/2. So 16 and 8 twelfths is going to go right about here. All right. So I think we're going to stop right there for today. That looks like I don't think we're going to have time for a whole nother problem here. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing everybody next time.